Hello darlings, thank you for joining me here today. It's wonderful to see you. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're one of my friendly subscribers that chats to me every week and leaves me a comment, hello again darlings. You know how much I love to chat and you know that I always answer my comments. So sweethearts, it's been another big week, just a normal week. Right here I've got Lucy sitting here on my arm. It's I wanted to film outside today, and I wanted to film with the oh, are you comfy? Oh, this is beautiful. I wanted to film with the artificial grapevine in shot, but unfortunately it started the Ballarat bizzle, which is like a drizzly rain, and that can just absolutely soak and drench you. You don't even know you're getting wet, and before you know it, you're soaked right through. So I decided to move undercover in my pergola area, and I hope you don't mind if you hear creaking from the solar sheets, those light sheets that go across, and you might hear the occasional bark from Wally next door, who's a beautiful bulldog, and he does like to look after us all down here. So firstly, how have you all been? How's your mental health been? Remember, I wear a tiara to shine a prettier light onto mental health, because we're a much more than just our mental health, aren't we, darlings? We have to do so much to keep ourselves going every single day that some people just don't even think about. But people with mental health have to have a different way of looking at their life, because we see too much, and in my case anyway, I overthink things and I get myself all worked up over nothing when it's a simple task. So I have to break things down, and that's the best way for me to do it. My mind just gets unraveled if I'm not careful, and I'll go down the rabbit warren of what if and who will and why that. And that's part of mental health, isn't it? So this week I have actually been undoing a full project that I worked on, which was Phillip's baby blanket for his new baby. Oh, darlings. Anyone who has to do frogging, which means unpulling of work, knows the effort involved in it. It's a real pill to do. And pills being bitter most times, it's not something I enjoy to do. But I couldn't put my name to it. I was so ashamed of it. The wool itself, I'm a bit disappointed with. It's a Bendigo wool and it's 4-ply, but it's not evenly done. So it has like little bigger bits and little thinner bits. And when you get to the thinner bits, so you can see it a bit there even. When you get to the thinner bits, I have to sort of skip over them and knot it up and sew it in later. Well, on that blanket, you saw every single one. And unfortunately, there was quite a lot of them. So I wasn't happy with that at all. So I unpulled it and I've started him a crocheted one. This is done in a simple shell pattern. And this one I actually like. It's a lovely pattern to do, a bit challenging with Lucy on my lap to show you what it looks like. But it's a very pretty pattern. Hang on, I'll show you a bit better like that. That might be better. It's a real wool eater, which I don't mind at all because I've got plenty of this wool. I bought myself 400 grams to knit it with. So I've got plenty. It's lovely and soft. It will wash beautifully. Once I never block my projects, but I will wash this and check it out before I send it to him. Yeah, so baby's not due until much later in the year, so I've got plenty of time to finish it. The wonderful thing with the shell one is that you don't really have to put a border on it, because these shells form the border, and that's the sort of border I normally put on my crocheted edges anyway. So it's absolutely lovely, and I'm enjoying doing that. But like I say, I had to unpull that whole blanket, and you'd seen how far I'd gone with it. It was quite a bit of a job. Anyway, so that's all right. I finished something. And isn't it wonderful when we finish a project that we've been working on for a while? You would have seen this last week when we were going on the train. Philip's hat, my brother, who lives in Tasmania, who's a musician. He's a School of Percussive Arts in Tasmania, if you want to look him up. He's on YouTube. And look at that. He loves my hand-knitted beanies. I don't put the pom-pom on the top because I always think they look a bit daggy, and my brother is super cool. He's like frosty cool. He's cool. My Lisa Wonderess, she's cool too, and they would get on so well. They really would. But anyway, I've made it exactly as the pattern says, and I've made him about 6 of these, 7 of these. So I know that he will like it and I know it fits. So that's going off for his birthday later in the month. And what else am I working on? I have started it. Yes, now I haven't covered her eyes yet, but that's the one thing I intend to do today. I'm going to put a nice cover on her. I was going to crochet one and I want to do it, but I can't wait that long for me to get the job done. So I'm going to just cover her with some paper that I've got. Oh, she does me in with those eyes. So I'm knitting this one. Mr. Fox Stole My Heart, which is, I'm not sure what page it's on. I don't have page numbers in this one. Oh yes, page 67. But I'm actually doing it more in these colours. Now, the only reason I'm using those colours is because I had the wool available. And if I've got wool that I can use, I will use it every single time. So I bought some wonderful mohair and I had it professionally wounded. So darn special. They did an excellent job of winding it. It was in great big long shanky things, and I would have wrecked it. And I got this so cheap. It was $18 for 500 grams, 2 lovely pink ones and 1 lovely white one, and super fluffy mohair. And the lady told me it was about $120 worth in Australian money. And I paid $18 for it on Marketplace. So sometimes on Facebook Marketplace, you really can see some bargains. I always keep an eye out for the wool. You have to be careful though, because sometimes if they come from a smoke-free house, you have to leave it out for months to get, if they're not from a smoke-free house rather, you have to leave it out for a long time for that smoke smell to get out of the wool. So I'm using that, and I'm using this one, which is wool that Anna Marie's mother actually, I think that she actually put it together. I've forgotten what it's called, where they use a spinning wheel and they do it from real sheep and all of that. And this is one of the balls that she did. And it is super soft. It is just so beautiful. So I'm putting those two colours together and they're actually coming up very well. So this is what I'm coming up with. So far I'm working on the body. This is like a mindless knitting project at the moment. Of course, it will get more difficult as I have to work out the face and things, but that's what's happening at the moment. And I'm very happy with it. It's super soft. And as you know, for me, it has to feel good. If it feels good, then I'll wear it. But if it doesn't feel good, I don't wear it. So that's what I'm working on. Still 2 projects on the go. And I'd like to start another one. I want to start a little doll's dress. This is a cowl. Mousy Makes, who I watch. I'm watching all her old content. I've got lots of content on there, darlings, if ever you want to put me on and watch. I don't have many watch hours, and I must admit I've got lots of content that you can watch, so do check them out. This cowl I made in a moss stitch because my girlfriend Anna Marie was knitting a moss stitch, and I said, oh, moss stitch is such a hard, difficult stitch, but it's such a wonderful one to do because it makes you think. You think when you're doing moss stitch. So it's not a mindless project, but it's not a hard project. But I just made the pattern up myself basically and kept going, because when we walk the park, it gets so cold some days that I can pull this right up and be like one of those Egyptian women, or those women that wear those things, you know what I mean. I can do that, and I know why they do them, because they keep their face warm. So anyway, that's great. But the wool was gifted to me from Anna Marie. This was one of her mums from Bendigo Wools. And it's a beautiful mohair in such a crimson colour. And of course, you know how I love the pinky shades. So of course, it's a firm favourite. I wear it all the time. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on. Have you been working on anything? Let me know. You know I work on them to keep my mental health straight. So if I'm feeling very flustered, I'll sit down and I'll do some knitting for a while. I've also come up with something ingenious, thanks to Mousy Makes. I noticed on her channel that, I hope you made a coffee. I always make a coffee and have a coffee with you with my beautiful people every single week. So I made a coffee. Well, I got this out of Mousy Makes. I think I told you about it, but I've actually put it together. I made myself a 20-minute relaxation candle. Now, she had brought a beautiful one online and it looked very, very nice, but I couldn't get one here in Australia without getting it from overseas, and it would cost a lot of money. So Tam being Tam thought, I'll make my own with a Makona lid from the coffee jar. And this is just a glass jar that I'd picked up at the Salvation Army shop or Vinnie's or one of those shops. And I've actually filled it with my diamond dot beads that are left over from projects. Because with the diamond dots, you've got a lifetime guarantee on those beads. And as Simone puts them behind glass, they're never going to fall out. So I know for a fact that she won't be needing these. So that's what I've done. And I went online and you can buy some candles, but once again, not here in Australia, unless I'm missing some site. Excuse me, Lucy's fallen off her perch. There you go, Lucy. So I went to Coles and I brought myself some candles. These are just normal birthday candles that go on cakes. They're nothing fancy. About, what would they be? Not very big. About the size of that finger, the pointy finger of this finger. So they're not that big, but they burn for 20 and a little bit minutes. So I put that in the sand and I light it and I do the diamond dotting for at least 20 minutes every day. Now I've got a bit of diamond dotting on this video for you to see, and of course I fast forwarded through a lot of it, but just watch the candle. The candle's the trick. You'll see the candle burning down and you know how long I've worked on it. So it's just an easy thing that you can do yourself. And I know that Helen actually looks at the candle and watches the candle, but I find just the smell of it burning, and I find that's very relaxing. So there you go. Super easy to do, super easy. And another marketplace buy that I've done, I bought myself a set of, you're going to laugh, you are going to laugh, but you do realise that I am such a child, it's ridiculous. I've always wanted these. Oh, I have to get them out one-handed, and they're down here. Look. A whole box of Noddy books. Now, not everybody likes Noddy, I know. Bert hates Noddy, and I got the whole, not the whole set, because there's a lot in the set, but this is a box of 10. And I was so happy when I saw them on Marketplace for like $15. They are beautiful, and when I picked them up, the lady said, she was in a very nice area of town, so you know they've been looked after, smoke-free home, all of that. The lady said to me, she said, you know they've never been read? My son's never even read any of those books. And when I open the books up, you can smell how new they are. And it's the smell that I like. Whoops, I've just got to pop them down. I'll just pop you on there. That's a big book set. So I've read the first one, Noddy Goes to Toyland, because I wasn't sure how Noddy was born. And it was interesting to see that he was made, and his head never had a neck, and that was why he nods all the time. And so anyway, so I read it, but I'm a bit disappointed because these books are from 2013, 2014, and the colours aren't sharp. And I find that disappointing because to me it was the vivid colours that I remember. And these are all done on like a tea-stained paper. You can't really see it in the camera, but it's like they've had a tea bag to give that aged look. And the pictures aren't sharp. So I have to say I'm very disappointed about that. But I'll read them anyway because the writing's really big. And I can read one in bed of a night before I go to sleep. And I've got a little light that clucks into the book that Lucy absolutely hates. But too bad, she has to put up with it. And she's a bit tired of a night, so she's all right. But I was disappointed with the quality of the pictures, because these are the ones I thought they were. I've got one book that I picked up down in the Geelong Mill Market. Now, if you look at these pictures, they are sharp. This one's from 1983, but you can just see how sharp the colours are. They're on a white background and they're just sharp. And they were the ones that I thought that they were, and they're not. So I'm a little bit disappointed. But for $15, you can't look at them and then say you won't take them when you get to the house. So what can you do? But you can see how sharp those colours are. I just love Noddy. And I don't remember ever having any books of him as a child. I always wanted them, but I don't remember ever getting any. So why not go and buy them yourself anyway? So I don't have much footage this week of me knitting and everything. I've made some scones that hopefully you will enjoy watching me make. They were eaten so quickly by Bert, I did not get a good photo of them all dressed up with jam and cream. The ones that I made in this particular one were a little bit sticky, so I added a bit more flour. But they are so easy to make. They are 3 ingredients. You have 300 mils of cream, you have 300 mils of lemonade. I use diet lemonade because I'm diabetic, and 5 cups of self-raising flour. And of course the dash of salt. Mixing it all together with a knife, and that gives you the beautiful scones. And they rose. I'm so happy. But then I do use the good quality self-raising flour, the White King's, white something or other that I've used forever. I don't cheat on the ingredients. You really do need to have the good quality ones. So anyway, darlings, that's about all that I've got to chat about. So I hope you enjoy seeing me making the scones. I've put a bit of footage in there of, excuse me, I'll just have a sip of coffee. My cough's gone. Isn't it good? Oh, coffee. I put a bit of footage in there of Lucy and I went to wash my car. I hadn't washed it for a month because I'd been so sick. And Lucy loves it when I go to the car wash. So there we are at the car wash, and I open up the boot and I sit in the boot and put my gum boots on, and she just sits there and she just loves it. So it's all good, just a little bit of footage of that. And yeah, so anyway, this is about the video. So I'm going to sign off here now because I don't have an ending today, because I haven't done one. So it's a bit of a, I hope you're all well and happy wherever you are in the world. Leave me a comment as always. And I do love to just have a chat with you. And please look after yourselves. God bless and take care. Lots of love from Lucy and I from beautiful Ballarat. Good girl, Lucy. You're such a good girl. You tired from the park? You tired? We've been to the park. We've done the park. We've made the bed, which means she plays endlessly while we make the bed. So she's a bit tuckered out now, so she'll just have a rest. Bye, darlings. Good girl, Lucy. Good girl. You're so good for Mummy. Such a blessing. So good.